Hello guys, welcome to another tutorial for C++ basics. This is tutorial number 7. In this tutorial we're gonna talk about basic input and output on C++, how they are implemented and how they're done. And in this video we're gonna talk about standard output that is given by cout command, standard input that's given by cin, and we'll talk something about stringstream, which is really helpful. Okay, so what are input and output? Okay, we use input and output for the interaction, to do some interaction with the user. User feeds in some information, we take that as the input. We give output based on what we perform in our program, so that user will know the result of what happened after the program has run. So those are the outputs. Okay, taking user input is really important, and I'm guessing probably most of the program need user input for it to actually do something. Okay, yeah, user input helps to change the program accordingly, okay, according to the requirement. C++ uses streams to perform input and output. So, and stream is an object where string is an object where a program can either insert or extract the characters from, okay, or to it. Alright, and C++, we have already seen this. C++ have iostream file in the library. We refer to that as has iostream at the beginning, has include iostream at the beginning of any program, as I just told earlier, probably in my first video. So iostream is a library where this stream object is defined, and we just use those objects already defined to generate input and output. Okay, so let's go to standard output. It's given by the command cout. So by default C++ is designed to give the output on the screen. Okay, in C++ we use cout, C-O-U-T, with two less than signs to give the output. For example, you can say cout 23 semicolon, that gives 23 on the screen. If we say cout x, then it's going to print the value that is stored inside x into the screen. And if I say cout inverted commas hello world, then it's going to print hello world to the screen. We saw that in our first video. Okay, so but this is very important to know that anything that is written inside double quotes and not in the double quotes have completely entirely different meaning on C++. Okay, for example, if we say cout double quotes hello, then it's going to print hello in the screen. But if you say cout hello without double quotes, then it's going to print whatever is inside the variable named hello into the screen. Okay, and if it does not have a variable named hello already defined in the program, then it's going to give you an error while you are trying to compile it. Okay, you can use multiple less than sign with the same cout statement. For example, you can say cout hello, then another two small than sign, then world. Probably you can notice it here. I have put one space in between. That's because I want to print hello, then one space, then world. Okay, it's not going to put any space for you unless you define it to. Okay, and we can also use multiple stream operator with the variables as well as strings. So for example, you can say cout my age is, then I can give a variable name as age after the stream output stream operator. This one right here is called the stream operator. Okay, output stream operator basically. So if I say my age is space colon space and then give age, then it's gonna look in what the variable age have defined, 2. So if let's say age is equals to 32, then it's going to give to the screen as my age is 32. Alright. Writing cout in multiple lines does not necessarily mean that it's going to give multi-line outputs. You have to define it yourself. If you want to print your outputs in multiple lines, you have to say that this is, you have to define that we want to go to the next line. I'm going to show you that in a while, but I have already talked about that in our other videos. So for example, if I say cout, this is a string, as you can see here, and cout, this is another string in two different lines, then C++ will give you as this is a string period, this is another string period in the same line. There is not even any space here because the double quote is closed without any space. Okay, so this is gonna put the output in the same line. Alright, so to define that we want to get output in next line, we have to either use endl after cout, or we can use a line break. Okay, this /n, that takes the output stream to the next line. Okay, so for example, if you say cout, this is a string /n, or you can say cout, this is a string, then again this operator, iostream operator, and then endl. Then if you write cout, this is another string, then this is gonna give, this is a string, next line, this is another string. Alright, pretty straightforward, simple, easy. That's the cout for you, and it's really helpful to give outputs and so on. Now we'll talk about getting the inputs from the user so that you can manipulate your calculations in the program depending upon what user gives you. Okay, so cin is used to get user input normally. Okay, so cin is used with two greater than signs. This is called input stream operator. Okay, so it will take the user input from the screen, from the keyboard. Okay, whatever user types in, then that's going to take that typed word as a input stream, and it's going to store it into a variable. Okay, for example, in a program you can write cin input stream operator, then give a variable name where you want whatever user inputs to be stored. Okay, so whatever user inputs when it asks for user to input something, then it's going to store that thing into variable name. Okay, so, and you can also request more than one data in a same line. So to request more than one datum, you can use multiple input stream operator, as similarly as you saw in cout. For example, you can do cin data1, data2, and put this input stream operator in between. What this gonna do is it's gonna take two inputs from the user. For example, if you want user to input two numbers, then they're gonna type in one number, then put a space, then another number. Okay, so that's gonna take and this is very important. If you have any space in between, cin can store the data only until those part where it encounters the space. After it encounters the space, it's gonna assume the rest of the part as not to be stored on this particular variable. Okay, for example, here if I say cin data1 and data2, if you type in 1 space 2, then it's going to store 1 to data and 2 to data2. Okay, but if you don't have data2 here, and if it's only one variable that you have given, and you type in 1 space 2, then it's going to only store 1 into that variable. It's going to completely truncate the space and 2 part. It's gonna throw it all away. Okay, just keep in mind that happens, because that confuses a lot of people. So writing that cin input stream operator data1 Another input stream operator data 2 is same as writing C in data 1 and C in data 2. Okay, that's also pretty straightforward. So when you're getting a string with cin, as I told you earlier, it's gonna stop taking the characters as soon as it gets to a blank space. Okay, anything after that, if you have only one variable defined, then it's gonna only take the input that's until it encounters a blank space. Okay, for example, if you have a cin a string as a variable, then and if user inputs hello world from the keyboard, then it's going to only store hello in a string, and rest of the part is just going to get truncated. It's not even going to be seen ever in the program. So for this we use getLine combined with cin. Okay, we can use getLine in the following way. We can say getLine, and we're gonna put cin, comma, then we're gonna give the variable name. Okay, what this gonna do is it's gonna store everything that is stored in one line. It's going to store everything unless it encounters next line character, or if you press enter and enter another information, that's going to needs to be processed in different get line. Okay, so 2 lines means you need to have 2 get line statements to get those 2 inputs. Okay, so get line, get all the line, doesn't matter if there is a space, but if it is seen, it's as soon as it encounters a blank space, it's gonna stop taking the input and truncate everything that's after the blank space. Alright, so using same variable name to get input in different places in the same program, we'll just replace the previous value of the variable with a new one that you have entered. Okay, it's not going to keep on adding. Okay, it's going to replace whatever is already inside that variable. Okay, so but using cin, there's a slight bit of problem. So for example, if you have a variable defined as integer, and let's say user is not very friendly, and user inputs a string, then if you have not taken any measures to handle that kind of situation, then your program might act abnormally. It's not going to go as you planned, might crash or happen something to it. So in that case, we're going to use stringstream, which is really one of the preferred method to get the input. So we can include iostream as a library file and at the header. You can also include iostream. Then in the next line you can say include ststream. Then that's going to include all the library required for a stringstream. Okay, so as I told you, it's especially useful to convert numerical value to string or vice versa. So as you can see in the example here, if you have a string variable named user input, and you have a floating pointer variable named num value equals to 0, I have just initialized num value to be 0. So we have used getLine, and it's gonna store whatever user inputs in that whole line into user input, and it's going to store whatever is in user input inside num value. Okay, it's gonna put everything that's sending any number that it encounters in user inputs is going to be stored in num value. Okay, this will extract the number from user input and store it into num value. Alright, it's very useful. Alright, so that's all about input output. That was pretty easy, simple, but one of the biggest thing that you learned is user interaction, sending output, taking inputs. I'm guessing almost all programs that you will be writing will have at least one of these. Okay, so please rate, comment and subscribe. I'm also on process of designing a website. It's not just yet complete. I'm working on it, haven't got much chance to work on it lately. I've been busy writing a project at this moment. So finally we're done completely with basics. that's now more into coding, and we will go to complex data structures, intermediate programming and things like that. We'll also get into linked list, pointers, variables, functions, classes and things like that in our upcoming videos. And please visit learnfromsujit.com for more materials that will include quizzes about what we learned in the video. It will have articles, it will have challenges, and a lot of fun stuff that will help you to learn all these things. And by the way, we'll also be designing a Java tutorial, as if you are interested more in Java programming than in C++, that's going to be more useful to you. If you're interested more in user interaction, GUI, I'm thinking about going in that route in Java, so we'll get to that. So please rate, comment and subscribe. Please refer this video if your friends wants to learn it, and have a good day. Thanks for watching.